Let's talk about the secret trust of the 1% that protects your assets for multiple generations. What would you say is the key to protecting assets for your kids and grandkids and great grandkids?
Well, I think the starting point, by the way, is don't leave a penny to your kids.
Wait, what?
Leave nothing to your kids.
What did you just say?
Our advice, don't leave a penny to your kids. What the heck? What is that all about?
What is it all about? So don't leave. So obviously you can protect assets if you don't leave anything to your kids because there's nothing to protect them from. But let's say you want to protect them, but you do want to have something there for your kids. What do you mean there?
Well, clearly the answer, this is one of the magical answers that we talk about to make sure that life is good, life is better. Let's reach the heights. Let's go to the mountaintop. Let's come up with planning that just lets you soar. And that's what this approach is all about. And this is the use of what is generically called a dynasty trust.
And do you like Bridgerton? You might be picturing families like those featured in Bridgerton when you think of dynasty trust. Like, I'm not like them. I don't have teams of servants. I'm not friends with the queen, although we don't really have queen here in the US. But I hate that term also. We talked about, we don't like the term estate planning because what do you think of when you think of estate? Similar with dynasty, you might think of dynastic wealth like the DuPont family or the Walton family from the Walmart fame and a number of other super wealthy American families. But the reality is there is no reason why only billionaire families should be able to use these tools. We think everybody should be able to use these tools or at least understand them. And if you own a home, we think that's enough in the way of assets to justify creating these trusts. So what are we talking about here? Well, our version of these is a family protection trust. And Mike has published an article in Bottom Line Personal Magazine very recently. But as my dad said, to my chagrin, if you want to protect assets, you don't want to leave a penny to your kids. So imagine you have, well, in our family, 3 kids. Not a penny would go to me or my sisters either way, like none of us. Instead, there would be 3 trusts, 1 family protection trust for each of us. You leave money to Mark's family protection trust, to Shauna's, and to Jamie's. Why would you do this? Well, there's 3 big reasons. Again, it doesn't have to be a huge amount of money to justify this. 1, we know divorce rates are so high. They're between 40 and 50%. This is what the data says. If your child divorces, if they've inherited assets, if they've commingled it all, a big chunk could be lost to the ex-spouse, and they might have another family, might go to people you don't even know. If it's in a family protection trust, it's kept kind of separate and protected in a divorce settlement. So in some ways, it's like a prenuptial agreement for inherited assets. 2, if your child is sued, assets they inherit directly, well, that's fair game. There's no protection for that other than hopefully a good lawyer. If it's in a family protection trust, you've created a barrier. It makes it a lot harder for creditors and people suing your child to get access to that money. Nothing's 100%, but it creates a barrier. And that's often the name of the game. And this is something that's extraordinarily powerful. When your kids and your grandkids pass away, the assets that you leave them directly, it's all part of their taxable estate. So whatever they earn plus whatever you left them plus growth is all exposed to estate taxes when they pass away. And right now you can pass a lot to your kids and to anybody. It's $12.92 million a person, but the exemption's set to drop in coming years. And who knows what estate tax laws will be like in 20, 30, 40 years. So the fact that we can protect against this by leaving it to a family protection trust is huge. The assets in the trust, there are some limits to this, but largely speaking, the majority of assets in family protection trusts plus growth are not part of your child's taxable estate. They can go largely untouched for the benefit of your grandkids. If you're okay with it, your child can be his or her own trustee. They don't have to be. If you don't think they're good with money, you can name someone else to oversee it, but they can be in charge of their own trust. So you're not necessarily tying their hands, you're just giving them this really protective tool that you've set up basically once, and it provides about 100 years of protection. So they last in California for about 100 years. So through the lives of your children, your grandchildren, even part of the lives of your great-grandchildren. And this should not just be for the ultra-wealthy. So talk to us if you want to do a family protection trust for your kids or one for each child. Such a powerful tool. This is how you can take your plan, as Mike talked about, from the base of the valley to the mountaintops. And it doesn't take that much complexity or work.
This trust should be set up. There's no downside.
Right. It should be a separate trust, by the way. Once in a while, we see people coming in with it's embedded in their trust that it will become some form of a dynasty trust. For many reasons we're not going to necessarily explore here, they should be separate documents. You have your living trust, separate family protection trust, one for each child. Many reasons for that. Just trust us here. You got to trust us to some extent. That's how we do things for many good reasons. I hope you got a lot out of this. Share this with someone in your family who needs to see this or a friend who needs to see this. We'd love to stay connected with you, and we love to spread the word. We want to empower you with this educational information. Go to our website, gilfix.com/newsletter. Join our mailing list if you haven't. Subscribe to our Gilfix Law YouTube channel. We'd love to stay in touch with you. And if you'd like to set a meeting with us, you can, of course, easily do that by contacting us. You can fill in a Google Sheet if you want to give us information about your properties. You can contact us at gilfix.com. So as my mom likes to say, I hope everybody's staying safe, sane, and healthy, and I hope you got a lot out of this. Take care.